Hey everyone, this is Dani Deahl for Time Out Chicago, and I'm sitting here with Paul Van Dyke before he goes on later tonight at the Congress Theater in Chicago. So how are you? How's Chicago treating you?
I'm fine. It's very warm outside.
It's very warm outside, and as I told him earlier, he's very lucky because we had a hailstorm yesterday, thunderstorms tomorrow, so hopefully everybody will be out in droves tonight.
Okay, great.
So that's what we're hoping for. So on to the music. One thing that I found very interesting, I was going through some of the previous interviews that you had done, and you were very adamant about not calling what you play trance. It's electronic music, it's not trance. Can you tell me why that's such a sticking point for you? What you consider the difference to be? And
Well, it seems to be a sticking point with the journalists because I always get that question. I always say it's electronic music.
so where do you think the label came from?
Probably some lazy ass journalist in the UK.
Does it bother you that still people think of you and they think immediately as DJ?
No, not at all.
Really?
No, I'm really easygoing with it. As I said, it's like, I get that question all the time. This is
Sure.
why it seems that I'm bringing that up all the time. But obviously, if I get the question all the time, I have to answer it all the time.
Right,
but that's
right.
not my issue.
Even if you say it 100 times to a million journalists, then it still follows you around. It must be difficult.
Well, no, not really. It's like it doesn't really bother me because for me, it's like, I have a clear idea about sort of the music I like to bring across and what I play, and everything else is always down to the interaction with the crowd in front of me. So I don't really
Sure.
care so much what the preconception might be that people have, and some of the people might be surprised how much electro I even play.
Really? So do you change it depending on where you're playing? Like if you
Well, as
play
I said,
in
like
Chicago, would it be
sort of
different?
the general sort of idea and the general vibe is the same, but then again, it's like how to achieve the goal of actually implementing 100% PVD sound.
Right.
That's down to the crowd.
Another thing that I thought was interesting about your views towards electronic music, you've said that electronic music is a political and a diplomatic tool, which I think is a very unique standpoint to have.
Well, when you see places like Ibiza as an example, people from all over the world, with different cultural backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, they come together in the place and they actually really unite. They sort of meet each other as human beings, not as coming from whatever Israel or Lebanon or from Iran or Iraq or America. People come from all over the world and actually enjoying, being there.
And can you talk a little bit about the political involvement that you have or how you use your music for different issues?
Well, the thing is, I'm sort of like, through the back door politically involved. I work with a few charity projects and this is what I actually do. But I also realized in order to change the reasons why those charity projects have to exist, you need to talk to the politicians to change the actually set of rules so these people live under better circumstances, so we don't need to actually run charity projects for them.
You grew up in a time in Germany when the Berlin Wall still existed. Did your upbringing during that time have any influence in the political undertakings that you have now or the causes that you fight for? What was it like growing up in that climate?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I grew up in a communistic dictatorship, so there was no freedom of speech, nothing as such. So I'm a big supporter of democracy. And also my travels actually, I came to a lot of places and saw a lot of places, and I truly believe that democracy is the best concept for all of us to live together. A democratic society is only as good as many people have to get involved in it, and it's not just the elections, it's also, the small terms. If you see something is wrong in your neighborhood, go ahead and change it. If you see a granny is struggling to go over the road, help her. And, if you have, bigger possibilities, do bigger things.
So let's talk about some of your current projects. You have so many things right now that are coming up. You just had a best of on Ultra come out a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you have this amazing new little iPhone app, which I am so curious to find out more about. I haven't seen it, played with it, nothing.
Okay.
And I know you have your little iPod Touch with you.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, obviously, we created the iPhone application for the iPhone.
Right.
So, all the stuff that actually requires a microphone is not working with the iPod Touch unless you connect a actually sort of mobile sort of phone. So, but what we can see is, as an example, this is a very helpful tool. It's called the seismic reader. And what you do is you can actually place on the turntable, and then you see how much vibration you actually get. Because like most of the DJs play with digital setups, so therefore all the vibration interferes with the calibrating of your system. So here you can actually see what you have to change in order to make your system running more, more.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So easy. And then some fun stuff as well. There's like kind of like a funky glow stick which changes the color. So when I was approached by our techie guys to actually do something like this, I said, if we do something like this, I want something that is more than just a random player where you can mix like 4 or 5 tracks into each other. Something that you maybe do once or twice. I want something that is actually more something that's helpful and fun. So you have the fun stuff in there, like the glow stick I just showed, and something like this.
So do you do this more for the artist side? Is it
no, it's for
less
both.
For the fan side? Or?
No, it's for both. As I said, there's a lot of like fun stuff in here, but there's like stuff like the frequency analyzer which we can't use on that machine because you need an iPhone, which I don't have, and there's like many things you can use on the professional level, and there's a lot of fun in there too.